Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearances of the Week. This is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. We'll be giving you all the first appearances hitting your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty light week for you guys. I think we only have 9 titles in all to go through. 4 first appearances, 5 honorable mentions, but definitely some good books in there to add to your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week ending March 25th, 2022. First up from Marvel Comics, Wolverine Patch Number 1. This features the first appearance of Cransy Beth. Now this is a 5-issue limited series from the writer Larry Hama. This takes place prior to the Wolverine number 31, released in 1990. Now this is one we do think you should probably pick up and add to your collection. Like we always say, pick up any first appearance of new characters in Marvel titles. And this here is kind of a prequel story that takes place prior to Wolverine number 31 back in 1990. So this will have some collector interest anyway. So this is one we do think you should probably pick up and add to your collection. Next up from Marvel Comics, Star Wars Darth Vader number 21. Now this is the first cover appearance of Moff Gideon. This is not the first appearance of this character, but this is the first cover appearance. If you guys have been collecting comics for a while, you know that the first cover appearance of new characters are definitely highly collected as well. This is a Star Wars title and a Marvel title at that. So this is one we do think you should probably pick up and add to your collection. If you're not big on cover appearances though, like I said, this is not the first appearance of this character. This is the first cover appearance, but we still think this is worth picking up. Next up from Marvel Comics, Star Wars Dr. APHRA number 19, the Key variant. This features the first cover appearance of bo-katan. Now, we typically don't get into the variant covers because there are so many of them, but this is a pretty popular character, bo-katan, and this is the first cover appearance of this character in a Star Wars title and in a Marvel title. So if you can, try to find this one here and pick this one up for your collection. Finally from DC Comics, Harley Quinn number 13. This features the first full appearance of The Verdict. Now, this is the first appearance of a new character in the Harley Quinn title series. Harley Quinn is a fan favorite character, but the Harley Quinn title series is not necessarily one of DC's most popular or most heavily collected series. So the first full appearance of a character in this particular title series may not be that big of a deal unless they pull the character over into other title series like Batman or Detective Comics. This one here may be worth specking on. If you can, pick this one up just for a speculative bet. Otherwise, put this one here on your B-list. We do think you have some time on this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From Image Comics, Ghost Cage number 1. After a super scientist's mega power plant is taken over by terrorists, he sends in his ultimate creation to destroy the company's monstrous secrets. Now this here sounds like it can lend itself very well to TV or film, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles optioned for small screen and big screen projects, so this one here may be a good speculative bet. This is one we think you should pick up if you can. If you can't, put on your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from Dark Horse Comics, we have Demons number 1. A woman suffers a devastating loss of a loved one that sets her on a path to becoming a major player in the climactic war of good versus evil. Now this one here is written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Greg Capullo, and this is one we do think you should probably pick up and spec on. Great writer, great illustrator involved in this particular title, and this sounds like it can lend itself very well to a small screen or big screen project. Dark Horse has had a lot of their titles optioned in the past, so this is one we do think is worth picking up the spec on. Next up from DC Comics, Deathstroke Incorporated number 7. In this issue, the identity of Respawn is revealed. Now, identity reveal issues aren't necessarily as heavily collected and as valuable later on as, say, first appearances or first cover appearances, but they do have value depending upon the character. This one here may be worth picking up and adding to your collection. If you can't get it now, though, put it on your B-list. We do think you have some time on this one. Next up from Marvel Comics, Avengers Forever number 4. In this issue, Thor's granddaughters, the Goddesses of Thunder, are reintroduced. Now, Marvel has been reintroducing previously existing characters back into modern comics. Typically, it's these modern interpretations of the characters that are featured in streaming series or TV shows or feature films. So this is one we do think you should probably pick up and add to your collection. This is not the first appearance of these characters, but it is the modernized or reintroduction of these characters. We do think this one here has some promise. Go ahead and pick this one up if you can. And finally from Marvel Comics, Star Wars Dr. APHRA number 19. Now this is the standard cover edition. We did mention the Key variant edition earlier that features the first appearance of bo-katan. This is the standard cover edition, but this issue does feature the origin of Spark Eternal. This one here may be worth picking up for this origin story. This is not a first appearance, but an origin. Sometimes they aren't as heavily collected and as valuable later on, but that also depends on the character and what Marvel decides to do with this particular character going forward. So this one here may be worth picking up the spec on. Otherwise, put it on your B-list and take a look at it later. So there you have the 9 titles that we have for you guys this week. 4 first appearances, 5 honorable mentions. Definitely a couple good books in there to add to your collection. Please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video, and as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.